At the funeral, Carl sensed that something was off. The grieving mother standing before him had just lost her daughter, yet her tears barely fell. She was only pretending to cry in front of the crowd. Even stranger, there was something hidden in her gaze, a secret she wasn't willing to share. To test his suspicion, Carl pulled out a piece of his family's heirloom chewing gum. After taking a small bite, he did something completely unexpected. He casually stuck it onto a light bulb. Then he locked eyes on the mother from across the room, watching closely for any reaction. A second later, the bulb shattered. But as the sharp noise startled the mourners, Carl noticed something chilling. The woman didn't flinch. Her forehead and the area around her eyes showed no reaction at all, which was anything but normal. That's when it hit him. She had to be undergoing Botox injections. The treatment paralyzes facial muscles, meaning that even if she were truly heartbroken, her forehead wouldn't wrinkle with grief. Ironically, this discovery ended up clearing the mother of suspicion in her daughter's murder. But it also made Carl even more uneasy, because now he knew the killer had to be someone close to the victim, and that person was standing somewhere in the funeral crowd. Just moments earlier, Carl, a seasoned polygraph expert, had been hired by the FBI to assist in a high-profile homicide case. 17-year-old Danny had gone missing a week ago, only to be found dead the next day in Yangtze Park. The cause of death? Blunt force trauma to the head. What made the case especially sensitive was the identity of the victim's mother, Kathleen, a federal judge for the Washington Circuit Court and a frontrunner for a Supreme Court nomination. To complicate matters, heavy rain had washed away any forensic evidence at the crime scene that night. The only thing investigators could confirm was that Danny was struck from the front and had no defensive wounds, meaning she likely knew her killer and didn't see the attack coming. Suspicion naturally fell on Kathleen, especially since she had no solid alibi for the night of the murder. Later, Carl and his partner Leah confronted Kathleen at her chambers. Never one to beat around the bush, Carl bluntly asked how she felt about losing her daughter. Tears welled in Kathleen's eyes, and she looked on the verge of breaking down. Yet even in her grief, she still emphasized how Danny had been the top student in her class. Carl, however, noticed something peculiar about her face. Without missing a beat, he pulled up an old interview from 1994. In the footage, Kathleen was speaking to reporters about the disappearance of her 2 children years earlier. She had claimed her car had been hijacked and her kids had vanished. But Carl revealed the chilling truth. Investigators later discovered that Kathleen had tied her children up in the back seat before pushing the car into a river with her own hands. Carl then pointed out the most disturbing detail. During that interview, as she recounted her children's supposed abduction, her face had been eerily calm, completely devoid of emotion, as if she were reading off a grocery list. And now, decades later, as she spoke about Danny's death, her expression was exactly the same.